portion of our service. This is week 2 of 4, where we're calling it Clarifying the Vision, because we want you to know what Vision Church is about, why we do this, and truly what makes our heart beat. This is not something that we just kind of take steps and do begrudgingly. We say, God, you're working in our church. We want to see you work in our church. So today, I brought up Mitch Lewis with me. Mitch has been coming to our church for about 2.5 years. He came on our staff last September, which of course I was excited about, because for 3.5 years, we'd been building a church with one paid staff member and hundreds, literally 150 different volunteers. So I said, God, thank you. You built us to a spot where we can bring on somebody like Mitch. Now, with our church, from the start, we built it with structure. And in this, if you know me, I'm a structure guy. And I didn't want to build it with a structure that said, okay, we're going to cap out at 200 people, and then we're just maxed. Because I think the numbers I've seen is 85% of churches in America are 200 or less. And that's fine if they're called to be that size, but I think that healthy things grow. And from the start, we said, let's build a structure that if God wants to grow us beyond that, it'll grow beyond one pastor or two pastors. It'll go through a structure where truly he works through God's people. So we take this structure, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but this structure, of course, is built on tasks and accomplishing things, and it's built on loving people. So I love the fact that we brought Mitch on. Yes, he is organized. Yes, he can do structure. And even more so, he is tremendous with people. So Mitch, why don't you talk to us about kind of your heart for people, how God has wired you, how you love involving in people's lives, investing in them. Tell us about that.
Well, certainly God has wired me as a people person. I find it that with anybody that I meet, I always find some sort of connection with somebody. There's something in their life that they're going through, or something in my life that I'm going through that easily connects me with them. So God has definitely hardwired me kind of that way. And I love relationship. I love community. And if I haven't met you yet, I'd love to meet you. Come find me after one of the services, and hey, we'll talk. I'd love to get you plugged in, take some next steps, walk with you on your journey and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You can trust me, Mitch loves people. And particularly if you need someone to talk to, we've got our care team. You got me as a lead pastor. Mitch is a great one to spend time with, and he will invest in you and your family. He cares for you. Now, the second thing is you look at society today that is using technology all the time. And the church, I think a lot of times in their past, in their history, has said, well, we're not going to kind of become like the world and do things like the world. I think that's silly. I think it is wise to take tools of the world and leverage them for God's kingdom's sake. So what we do here at Vision is we say, okay, then let's see what's happening in technology. How can we best leverage it and use it to connect, particularly with younger people, with students, with millennials, with your friends, people you know. So here at Vision, even since Mitch has come on, we've created the app. We have something we just started this past Monday. It's called our Monday Recap. What we do is we take a little slice of the Sunday message and put it together in like a 60-second form that you can grab on social media and pass to somebody that they can get the kind of the flavor of the previous day's message. We've got, of course, our website, our e-news, all these things that Mitch manages, our graphic design, all these pieces. We say, okay, so Mitch, so how do you feel about using technology, graphics, creativity to share the love of God?
Well, I've always been drawn to technology, and particularly towards like graphics and videos and stuff, because we as people, we are visually drawn to stuff. This stuff visually, it gets our attention. And so whether it be a 30-second video or a graphic with some inspiring lyrics or something on there, we know it's going to get someone's attention, and also it's able to spread the gospel of Jesus. And with technology, we have the wide variety where we can reach all sorts of people, because if you know how social media and the internet is, you can reach people in other countries. You can do all this, so someone has that opportunity to see that, and that's one thing I've always been drawn to, is trying to get people to come in visually with what we post.
Well, I love having Mitch here because he's pushing me kind of outside of my borders. I'm still using my MySpace account, and he said, no, just kidding. But seriously, that he, along with people like Emmaus, some of our young adults, you sit in a group with them, and you're like, woo, man, I understand that. Well, if we're going to connect with younger people in our society, we need to get outside of our comfort zone a little bit using technology. Now, the third thing I want to cover with Mitch is some of our structure. Because here at Vision, we are what's called a staff-led church. We're not the kind of church where we'll get up and say, okay, guys, we're going to take a vote on what color the new carpet's going to be in the hallway. And we're like, vote this, and people get mad, and things don't move. No, we are a staff-led church that is governed by elders. We have 3 men in our church that are from the congregation, and I call them our rails, that keep me as a lead pastor on track, and then Mitch as our associate pastor keeps us on track so that our church is moving forward with the supporting structure of elders. But I don't talk to them day to day about every decision, but I do involve them greatly in prayer time, in things we talk about, things we evaluate with our budget, and things, obviously we deal with problems. You're like, problems in the church? Yeah. When you get a bunch of human beings together and all that stuff happens. So I love that we have elders, we have our pastoral team, and then what we've done is we've built a structure in our org chart where there are volunteers that head up teams. And here at Vision, we don't have committees, because to me, committees automatically, at least in my mind, conjure up thoughts of like arm wrestling. And, I don't want people feeling like they have to arm wrestle to make things happen in our church. I want teams that have a point leader and a team of people that help support that leader, and together they work to accomplish something. These teams are built mainly on volunteers in our church. And the term that is key to me is the term servant leader. Now, if you go out in the business world, and people say, hey, drive, push, kill. Most people don't like the term servant leader. Not if they're a CEO, not if they're a district manager or a general manager. They want to be known as the boss. Well, here at Vision, we take leadership important, we take it carefully, and we attach with it servant leadership because we believe that Jesus, as the ultimate leader, was also the ultimate servant. So what I do here at Vision is I cast the vision to each team and to each leader to say, will you be a shepherd? And honestly, most people at first say, oh, I'm not qualified to do that. The reality is, most of us are not qualified to be shepherds. God, though, empowers us to do it. Whether you're leading the parking team or the kids ministry or whatever you're doing, I call you in and say, I don't want you just to lead this team to go somewhere. I want you to love people and to shepherd them. Because what a shepherd does is he helps sheep or people go in a certain direction lovingly, carefully, to accomplish something. So another thing I love about Mitch is he bleeds servanthood and he bleeds being a leader. You put those together, I love having on our team. So why don't you speak for a minute about kind of your DNA as a servant leader?
Well, definitely I am a servant. I'm one of those guys that wants to go in the trenches and work side by side with every team that I'm with. And basically I just want to inspire, because Jesus provides, like Matt said, Jesus provides that perfect example of being a servant. Even though he was the Almighty, he still washed the feet of them. And so that's kind of what I want to strive to be like that. Even though I'm in a leadership role, I still want to be side by side with my team members, knowing that I'm not above them and that we're all a part of a team, and just to come together like that. And the way I look at it is, if you're being a servant leader, there's two ways you can look at serving. That you have to serve, or that you get to serve. And if you're a servant leader, you choose that get to serve. That when you come in, you say, oh, I get to serve because me serving is going to change somebody. Me serving is going to make a difference for somebody, rather than having that mindset, oh, I have to serve today. Oh, I just don't want to be there today. Change doesn't happen that way. Breakthrough doesn't happen that way. So we've got to change our perspective from have to get to, and that's the way I live it.
I like it. So 2 quick quotes I got for you as we finish. And if you're new to church and you're like, man, I don't even know if I like these pastors or like this church, you can take these 2 quotes and use them in your world, especially if you are interested in thriving as a servant leader. The first one comes from a video that we're probably going to use in our next series. And in it, the guy simply says, make sure that your servant towel is always bigger than your ego. And I appreciate you talk about Jesus washing feet. You understand, when you wash someone's feet and you get down low and you're going to use a towel to wash their feet, to dry their feet, symbolically, we don't wash feet these days. That's just weird. Honestly, in church, to walk around washing feet. We do other things. And I want you to think about the fact, are you willing that your servant towel would be bigger than your ego? God can use you. The second one comes from a football coach. I don't know if we got any Clemson football fans in here, but Dabo Swinney down there, the coach at Clemson, this is a guy that evidently is in the spotlight a lot. I mean, he is one of the most successful coaches in the country. And the reality is, each week I stand here with these like lights on, there's Facebook Live. I never envisioned this as a teenager, as a young adult. This was not my dream to like be on a stage with lights and stuff. So I love this quote that Dabo says, and any of us can use it because we all have times that we're in the spotlight, whether it's on a stage, in a room, in an office, in a meeting. And he says that let the light that's inside of you always be brighter than the light that shines on you. So don't miss that, because we're all going to have some type of light that shines on us, and there is something in us that wants to say, this feels good. And God says, don't let that light that shines on you ever be brighter than the light that shines in you.